me what you think about the issues of the world. What kind of spice you wanna be? Tell me where you wanna travel. Do you believe in luxury? What's your hidden passion? What makes you so unique? Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with Nicole.
Good evening. Happy Monday. It's Monday, October 12th, 2020. I am Nicole Everett, the host of Conversations with Nicole, where we are connecting the community through conversations. And it is what I call Man Up Monday. Man Up Monday. This is an opportunity for us to have an engaging conversation. This is an interactive live. I do expect the men, the brethren, the brothers to be out here to talk to us tonight. Have we got a great conversation for you tonight? But before we get started in the way that I always do, I need to know who's out there listening, who's out there watching. I see you chiming in already. Guy Sly, my good buddy, my brother who's down in South Florida, my sister Latanya Smith in Georgia, and E. Marie Sissel, who was on about 2 weeks ago, who's right here in Tallahassee. Thank you all for being on here. For the rest you have not heard from yet, please let us know what city and state you are tuning in from. Just put your city and state in the comments, and we will be sure to give you a shout out. So, we are coming off of the end of Mental Illness Awareness Week. Also had World Health Day. I believe that was Sunday, I think Sunday or Saturday. But, just being more mindful of mental health, right? And this brother who I'm about to bring on works for a project that I just became aware of recently, and I have been blown away by the work that they have been doing, and you are going to be blown away too. So, I see all of y'all. Look at Doris. Hey there, Doris. My partner Gerald is on here. Hey, Gerald. Hey, Tiffany. Tiffany is right here in Tally. Hey, Robin. We got Solomon in Tampa, Florida. Hey, Solomon. Greetings, Joseph Ward. I really appreciate you all being on here tonight because this brother Darnell, he is just a real brother, and he has gone through some things, and I think that just makes his testimony and his ability to do his work even greater. So let me stop rambling and bring on Mr. Darnell Rice, the Director of Membership and Engagement for the Confess Project. Welcome, Darnell.
Hey, everybody. Where you guys are right now. I'm blessed to be on the show, but also, with the great introduction. So she did say a little bit about Darnell Rice, but I'm just a young man from St. Louis, Missouri. And I live in Little Rock, Arkansas right now. And, I'm just a really, really transparent brother, and really fighting for our people against mental illness and breaking the stigma. Because it's important that we have this conversation, because a lot of times what happens is we get in the shuffle, we get in the busyness of life, and we don't have these intimate conversations. Because we serve Black boys, men of color, and their families. So it's important that we, as the Confess Project, that we be unapologetic, but also have unconventional ways to reach our society, as it relates to the Black community, Black and brown. I think, a lot of times we need to be present, be open, and be transparent as we have these conversations.
Right.
Because the thing is, we have to look towards the future, but also we need to be in the moment.
Yes. So for those viewers who may not be familiar with the Confess Project, just give them a little bit of history about around how the project got started and what the project does.
So the Confess Project has been around since 2016. It started in Little Rock, Arkansas, and it started off as, Black men's focus group. And then it evolved into Beyond the Shop, or we started going to across the country to different barbershops and just having an open dialogue about mental health and mental illness in the barbershop. Because we know that the barbershop is the Black Mecca, and we know that we can have honest, real, uncut conversations about mental health and mental illness as it relates to our community. And so, we started this thing. I mean, we went all across the country. I remember starting off as a volunteer. I started off as a volunteer with the Confess Project. And then myself, I was dealing with mental illness myself. And I needed an organization that resonated with me and that looked like me. Because I was at a point where I was getting ready to end in my life. I was ready to give up and say, you know what, I'm done. The pressures of life, the abundance of just trials and tribulations. And the Confess Project opened my eyes and it saved my life.
Wow.
And so, we started off, Beyond the Shop, and then Beyond the Shop grew into the Barbershop Coalition.
Okay.
Where we train barbers to be mental health advocates. Okay. And what we're doing is we've been to 15 cities and we have over 150 barbers in our network, because we're taking it to the barbershop and the salons. We're having important conversations, because I know it's important to us as a Black community to have these conversations, because I'm going to tell you, with the recent events of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Aubrey, rest in peace. It's a state of emergency right now.
Right.
And it's important that we as Black people, we take care of our mental health and our well-being, because we have generations that are coming after us and before us. I could remember my mom, suffered from mental illness too. She was bipolar and schizophrenic. And she suffered for a very, very long time. And so, this work that we do is unconventional and innovative. We took the pandemic and we said, you know what, we're going to fight this pandemic. We're going to fight this stigma of mental illness. And we reach the people where they are.
Yes.
And so that's a little bit about the Confess Project of, where we are, who we are. But we have leaders that are on staff that have lived experiences. Okay. So that's what makes us so powerful as an organization, to reach the people, to understand that the time is now. The time is of essence. Yeah. And we have to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. Right. And so it's important that we touch all bases, and that we just have an open dialogue, because as a Black man, it's hard to have those conversations anywhere else other than the barbershop.
Well, let me pause there for a moment. I'm gonna try to get this audience involved. So a number of Black men are on this live and have chimed in. So I want to know, do you all talk at the barbershop about life, about, relationship, about what's going on at work, what's going on, at home? What is the barbershop a safe haven for you men, if you will? Just, if you don't mind, sharing, just in the comments, say yes or no or whatever it is. I want to know, do you consider the barbershop to be a safe space? And do you consider your barber to be a trusted person, not just to give you that fade or, get you tight and right, but in terms of your cut, but somebody that you can, confide in, that you can talk to, that you can tell some things to? I really would like to hear from the brethren tonight to know if that is the case, whether or not that is the case. So while they are commenting, I would love to know, we're talking about Black men in particular, but why do you think the Confess Project, the mental health of Black men and boys, why is that, important?
Because I mean, a lot of us, I know some sisters on the call right
Okay.
now on the
Yeah.
broadcast.
Yeah.
We, here's the thing. It's important because we have men in our family. We have fathers, cousins, brothers, nephews,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like we need to be open and vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, it's a point of emergency right now, and it's important that we have these conversations because we got to have a blueprint for the next generation. We don't want to be going through the same issues of mental illness. We have to start unpacking the trauma that we've experienced, and it's very important to engage and to empower each Black man and Black boy
Mm-hmm.
have these conversations because we don't want to feel ostracized. We don't want to feel like we don't have the support systems because it's all about systems. It's all about having that support system because as long as we have the support systems in place, then we don't mind having the conversations about mental illness and about our mental health. I could remember,
Mm-hmm.
going to the shop, and I was getting my fresh cut, but deep inside I was struggling. And my barber was there to give me that fresh cut, but he was also there to give me advice,
Mm-hmm.
life advice, and
Mm-hmm.
say, these are some of the things you can do to help you go to the next step because it's important that that barber has the connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's about building relationships and building the rapport.
Yeah.
If we continue to have the rapport, we can have the relationship to understand, okay, growth and development and say, hey, brother, listen, I know you having some issues. I know, how can I help you?
Mm.
How can I help you?
Right.
It's not about, it's not about, it's not about, hold on.
Hold
Sorry.
on. All right, there we go.
It's not about solving the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's about having an open mind and listening and saying, okay, I'm listening to you right now. I understand that you're going through a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to listen with care
Mm-hmm.
and not listen with intent.
So I think sometimes that is part of the solution, though.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the actual vocalization of whatever the issue is.
Mhm.
You hearing it, you getting it out of your head, and then just somebody that can be a sounding board, if you will. Not
Mhm.
that they necessarily are offering solutions. I mean, they may, but sometimes it's just having the presence of someone there to, listen to what's on your heart, what's on your
Mhm.
mind, what's in your heart.
Yes. Yes. What's on your heart, what's on your mind, and
Mhm.
and just being open, honest, with yourself. Like my brother Tyler said, he said some reason in the Black community we still think mental illness isn't important. But
Mhm.
I like to say this: praying about it is one thing,
Mhm.
but doing the work is another thing.
Yes.
We can pray all day, but if we're not doing the work on ourselves, then faith without works is what? Dead.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Yep.
we have to definitely have the conversations, Nicole, and
Yes.
definitely open up and understand that it's okay to not be okay.
Mhm.
It's okay to say, hey, brother Tyler, hey brother, I'm struggling.
Mhm.
And I need you to listen to me. I need you to just honor the space, honor the intimate space of
Mhm.
who we are and what we embody. Because it's important to understand that the barbershop, yeah, it's a safe haven. We talk about everything. We talk about sports, we talk about relationships. Why not take it to the next level and talk about mental health and mental illness? Because believe it or not,
Yeah.
third leading cause of death among African American men is suicide. And then on top of that, it's important that when it comes to suicide, it is hurting our communities, young and old, but it's
Yeah.
really hurting our Black men and boys.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned about the suicide rate because it has come to my attention, and as well as the mental health council that I sit on, that the Black men and boys suicide rates have, the numbers have been increasing. And I don't know if that's as a result of the pandemic or as a result of the murders of Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna
Mhm.
Taylor, George Floyd, and others who have had to, who have succumbed to deaths unjustly. So, as Black Lives in America, it can be kind of traumatic. Some of the things that we see and experience, and there can be a sense of hopelessness. I think as it relates to that, and you and I talked, kind of briefly before the broadcast, and I, I heard something today that gave me the thought that maybe, Black men may not feel like they want to talk about their issues with a counselor or a therapist because they feel like, what's the use? It's not going to change my scenario here in America. I'm still going to have to endure racism, discrimination, prejudice, bias, bigotry, that
Mhm.
sort of thing. So why do I need to talk about it to someone? What would you say to someone that has that type of mindset? What would you say to the Black men out there?
I would say to my brothers out there that, I had the same attitude. I had the same attitude because before the Confess Project, I gave up on therapy. I gave up on just life in general. But I could say that when I had a conversation, with the CEO and the founder, he was like, "Listen, I need for you to try therapy one more time."
Hmm.
And just that connection with another brother was
Mhm.
beautiful, and I said, you know what, I am going to give it a try. But
Okay.
I started to utilize the coping skills that the Confess Project used. So I would tell any brother to just give it a try. Just try, but find a Black
Okay.
therapist. Find a Black male therapist
Mhm.
in your area. We have on our on the
Yeah.
Confess Project page, we have number of resources where you can find Black therapists,
Mhm.
because we need someone that looks like us. We need someone that has some of the same life experiences and the trials and tribulations that we've been through. But Black man, please don't give up on
Yeah.
yourself and on your family, because the thing is that we need to unpack. We need to definitely understand the bigotry, the racism. It's not going anywhere,
Yeah.
but it will give us the opportunity and the ability to maneuver in and out the system.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, I was once in poverty, and just by changing my mindset and changing my heart, I was able to understand, hey, I have a lot to live for.
Mhm.
I have a lot to be, because we as Black men and women, we are definitely powerful.
Mhm.
And sometimes we don't get it at home
Yeah.
because we're under so much stress, so much, you know, trying to be the provider, the priest, and the protector of our homes. We're trying to do so much for our families, but we have to look internally and really understand that, okay, it's trauma.
Yeah.
It's about resilience. It's about, you know, having that support,
Mhm.
having hope. Because once you lose hope, you are dangerous.
Yeah.
And I was almost there.
Wow.
So I tell my Black men and I tell my Black boys and my Black sisters on this live,
Mhm.
just remember that you do have support. You do have a project
Yeah.
that's fighting for you and fighting with you.
Yes.
Because guys, let me say this. This is unorthodox. This is unapologetic. This is real. And
Mhm.
I don't take it lightly, but just remember that you can be your best self. You can be greater than your circumstance.
Yes.
You don't have to be your mental illness. You don't have to be there. You don't have to stay there.
Right.
But you can cope. You can cope.
Mhm.
You can cope. You can be great, and you can understand. Hey, I may have a mental illness,
Mhm.
but I can cope.
Yeah.
Because any situation, you can easily have a traumatic experience and develop depression, PTSD, bipolar, schizophrenic.
Mhm.
You know, so that's what I give to the people that's live. Like, just remember
Okay.
that you have resources. Tap into those resources.
Yeah.
And just start a list.
Yeah.
What do I need to start at first? And just to be transparent, I go to therapy twice a month, and it has changed my life. And I also do prayer as well. You know,
Yes.
because that's important. You know, I have to. I have to show my brothers and sisters and my black boys of how to be.
Yeah.
It may not work, and the thing is, it may not work. It's all types of different therapy that you can utilize.
Right.
It ain't just about sitting in a chair, sitting behind a chair, talking to somebody.
Mhm.
Maybe we might need to do music therapy. Maybe we need to do, nature therapy
Right.
to
Right.
get in tune with ourselves. So yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. And I appreciate you sharing that you do therapy twice a month and you pray as well. So it's not either or, it's both and.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So
Because go ahead.
we have a lot of comments. So I want to try to get some of these up on the board. So Solomon talks about Black men need not be afraid to have uncomfortable conversation with our Black women. Far too often we would rather chop it up with the boys and not our women. So I think same thing there, Solomon. I think it's not either or. I think it's both and.
Yeah. Let me say that to my brother.
Mhm.
I was reading a post today, and it said the fact that girls girls will come with with luxuries,
Mhm.
but a real woman will come with comfort and solutions.
Hmm. Okay.
So it's important that you gotta know who's really down for you. You gotta know who's in your circle
Mhm.
to really understand that, Brother Solomon, I've been there. I didn't have the support system of my sisters. You know what I'm saying, at the beginning, because I was looking, I was searching. But when you have that the right woman in your life, she can make things better to help you say, hey, I need to go to therapy, or hey, let's do this together.
You got
Because
me shout over here, Darnell. Listen, you talking good right now. Go ahead.
because that's important. I mean, that's important because we have to understand that, because I've been there. I've been chopping up with the boys, but sometimes the boys can lead you the wrong way. And and they be like, man, shoot, man, my relationship is broke down. I can't really talk to my girl. Because the thing is that it's about that hope. Brother Solomon, keep that hope, keep hope alive, keep it alive,
Yeah.
and keep it well. Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. Like, I know, my mama, rest her soul, she's been gone 2 years. And I can remember those conversations she had with me, and I used to talk to my mom, and I used to cry to my mom, and I used to, and she was like, son, you safe with me.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got into relationships, I'm just gonna be honest, as I got into relationships, I couldn't talk about those situations of mental illness. I couldn't do it in those relationships with women, because it was like, okay, well, I wasn't able to be open, be free, be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. That's
Yeah.
why we go to the barbershop and chop it up with the boys, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we don't feel that we have the support of our women in our lives,
Okay.
because we have to be so strong. We have to be that provider, the protector, the priest. But every strong man has a breaking point. Every strong man has a strong woman right beside him. to
So
help him push him to greatness.
I'm glad you mentioned that too, because again, there are ladies on the live as well. So I hope you ladies are hearing what the brother is saying about not feeling comfortable being vulnerable, maybe it not being well received because of the perception of him maintaining this strength continually and not being able to open his heart up to you about what's going on. So let me share Amanla's communication. Amanla is a doctor here locally. I call her a community doctor. She says, we also don't have the experience speaking about mental health in plain terms. We tend to communicate mental health challenges as physical pain, not lending to the right help. So
yeah, so man, it's Amanla. So that's why it's so important to have the conversations in the barbershop. We got to meet the people where they are.
Yes.
You know, and just have a real open conversation, man. You know, I'm not coming in talking about, you know, the different definitions of, you know, what is mental illness. You know, yeah, we're going to talk about that, but I gotta get on your level.
Yeah.
I have to get on your level. Yeah. I can't come in a barbershop with a 2-piece suit. I'm telling you, they're gonna laugh me out the shop.
What you selling?
Yeah, what you selling? What you selling? No, I'm not selling anything. I'm giving hope, resilience, and empowerment. That's what I'm giving. Because, you know,
all right.
You know, so
go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I mean, come on now. You gotta meet the people where they are, man. You can't you gotta be genuine. You gotta be genuine, and you got to, because they gonna see if you're a facade.
They are. They
you
absolutely are.
Yeah, so they're gonna see.
So let me bring up Vanessa's comment. She said this conversation is desperately needed in the Black community, especially since we were raised not knowing anything about how prevalent it is in our family. It has always been taboo. So we, as mothers of Black males who are struggling in the dark, don't know how to help our sons. So, you know, again, hopefully that is part of why this project is in place. Because, you know, you and I have talked about, Darnell, adverse childhood experiences and how that, you know, ACEs are real. For those of you who have not heard of ACEs before, please do the research on it. It's a 10-question questionnaire. And if you score 10, then you have really got some severe things going on, or that have gone on with you as a child. And so much of what our childhood experiences inform our decisions as adults. So, you know, we've talked about your ACE score, and, you know, how, you know, as a result, that was one of the indicators that you needed some professional help. And, you know, that's not anything to be ashamed of, afraid of, or, you know, stick your head in the sand about. You know, we've got to deal and heal. Otherwise, we don't understand maybe what triggers us, right? So without having those conversations, without unpacking, as you stated, then we are subject to reliving these past experiences and having not dealt, not processed it, not healed from it.
Yes.
We become a mess.
Yes, and the thing is, Nicole, we tend to, you know, it's intergenerational. It starts to follow into our children's lives, and it's just a cycle.
Yes.
You know, and it's important that we stop the cycle.
Yes.
That we really understand that, okay, yes, I have an ACEs score of 8, 9, but I can change my trajectory.
Yes.
Right now. One person, which is 50% of Americans, has an ACEs score of at least 1 traumatic experience. That's 1. But some of us have, it's like our Black and brown communities, we have 4 or more.
Mm-hmm.
because look at everything that's going on in our nation. Look at the centuries of slavery. Look at racism. Look at police brutality. All of that plays an important part in our trajectories of life. But at the same time, we can change that.
Mm-hmm.
We can change that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter where you start, it's how you finish.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's how you finish. And you know, and for Miss Vanessa, she was talking about her sons. It's important that there is, you know, role models,
Mm-hmm.
that you can look to help support Black boys,
Yeah.
because there are a number of programs, mentor programs that Black boys can go to have that extra support,
Mm-hmm.
because some of us didn't have fathers growing up. I'm
Mm-hmm.
speaking. I didn't have my father growing up.
Yeah.
So a lot of situations that I encountered in my life was because of trial and error. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know how to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I had to learn by trial and error of who I was and what I stood for. And it's taken me this long now to understand, to stand in the power
Yes.
that I possess right now.
Yeah.
And I want to commend all the women on this live that have sons, that
Yeah.
you're fighting every day for your sons. And I want to commend my brothers that are single fathers that have boys,
Mm-hmm.
that are fighting each and every day for their health and wellness,
Yeah.
because it's important that we as Black men and women, that we continue to keep wellness at the forefront,
Mm-hmm.
and understand that there's a time that we need to continue to go to therapy, to unpack, because we're still dealing with our own childhood trauma
Right.
and even adult trauma as well.
Yep. Absolutely. So Herb made a comment. He said the death rate from suicide for African American men was more than 4 times greater than that for African American women. A lot of Black men internalize their emotions.
Yes,
So,
Harold, good stuff.
mhm.
Because the reason why, because as a Black man, we're always taught to man up, be
Mhm.
strong. You can't show emotion. Wrong. We got to show emotion.
Yep.
We got to be
Yep.
we got to be open and
Yeah.
vulnerable. We got to show our boys that it's okay to
Mhm.
cry. It's okay to shed those tears, because why you think a lot of brothers and sisters are incarcerated right now,
Mhm.
because of internalizing those emotions and not able to healthily be healthy about having a healthy space to release
Yes.
those emotions.
Yes. 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 Which is transition. Why the mental health barbershop movement got started, right?
Yes, yes, and we're the first barbershop movement in the nation.
Yeah, yes. So that is so commendable, and something that I had talked about with my cohorts over at the Mental Health Council of the Big Bend about us, you know, extending some type of mental health first aid to um, what I call shade tree practitioners, right? So I
Oh, we
call
talking about that. Yeah, it's like the shade tree mechanic. We got shade trees.
yes. So
Yeah.
I call your beauticians, your barbers, your trainers like Harold, your coaches, even your bartenders. I call them shade tree clinicians because
Mhm.
they are doing the work, even though they don't, have a degree or a certification in psychology or therapy
Mhm.
or counseling. But, these are trusted individuals in our community that deal with people every day,
Yes.
that deal with our community every day, from whether you're going to get your nails done or your hair done, or, you're training with them every day, or they're your coach or what have you. So they know when Keisha is not doing well today. They know when Ray Ray is a little off, so to me, why not arm those folks as advocates in terms of, they're coming from a trusted position. Why not give them the resources to refer, their clients on to someone that can really assist them? So, that is the basis, I believe, of this mental health barbershop movement that the Confess Project has started.
Yes. And what we do is, like I was saying earlier, my barbers that's on the live, you guys are the cornerstone of the community.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, during the civil rights movement, the barbershop was the mecca for social justice. A lot of the conversations started in the barbershop because the thing is, we couldn't have these conversations outwardly because of the climate of what we were dealing with during that era. And the barbers and the stylists, they are the power behind the chair, and they are the ministry. They're the ministers. It's just like their clients is the congregation. They're able to make sure that they are helping their clients reach the fullest potential, but also trusting them with their life. And that's important as well, because we have 4 points that we use. Active listening. You're listening, you're really listening to understand and being transparent. Number 2, positive communication. Hey Nicole, or hey Ray, you rocking it today. That's something positive, because here in America right now, we're not giving each other positivity. We're always negative to each other. If I see my brother, I see my brother. I don't see my enemy.
Right.
Number 3, stigma reduction. We're breaking that stigma of mental illness. I mean, because it's important. We need to do that. We need to have the conversations, but in those conversations, we need to make sure that we are keeping everything confidential between ourselves and the client, because the client trusts the barber. They trust them so much, but give us permission to help.
Yeah.
Because case in point, I was talking to one of my barbers here in the city, and he had a story of his cousin. He had came into the barbershop, and he was really struggling with some things that were happening at home. And he said, the barber was like, man, what's going on, man? I see you not doing well. He had hair all over his head. He was looking rough. And it was his cousin, and he knew his cousin. He was like, man, talk to me. So as he started to cut his hair, it was like when he's cutting hair, it's like the layers of worry, guilt, shame was coming off.
He's unpacking,
like I said, unpacking those emotions, those real emotions. And he was able to, once he got that fresh fade, he was able to have a better outlook of his situation. And those are the stories that we at the Confess Project, that we honor and that we lift up. Because those are the essential workers. They are the barbers and the stylists are essential workers. They're needed in the community so much right now.
Absolutely. And so we got quite a few comments. Let me try to get some on. So Harold said, I agree with more positivity. We have to break that Willie Lynch syndrome mentality program into us from years ago. Absolutely.
Yes.
And then Vanessa, she said, Darnell, my son was bipolar, and I was clueless as to what bipolar disorder was, and there were no mentors or life coaches available. Even now, I have been unable to find one that can truly reach him. So this conversation is empowering me, and I finally see a light at the end of the tunnel. Awesome. So Vanessa, we hadn't gotten to this point yet, but we are trying to get an affiliate here in Tallahassee. So we are working towards bringing the Confess Project here. What do we call those, Darnell? What do you call the part of the coalition?
But the Barbershop Coalition, we're actually going to be, we're looking at you know, you guys want to look at bringing an affiliate to your area,
Yeah.
but we're actually looking at coming in next year to do an actual barbershop training event down there at is it Harumba? What is it? What's the Harumba?
We're in talks about it, Vanessa.
Yeah,
So
we're in talks about it. Yeah, we're in talks about it right now.
Preliminarily, but
Yeah, it's in the early stages.
Yeah. But my point was, in terms of her comment, you know, there are Black and brown clinicians here in Tallahassee. In fact, the Mental Health Council of Big Bend has put together a list of those clinicians and have dispersed that on social media amongst the different organizations that make up that group. So we will be happy to connect you with some clinicians that may be able to assist your son. Amala had a question that she wanted you to speak to, Darnell. She said, can you speak on Black men managing mental health diagnosis with medication? Many brothers turn to substances to manage mental health.
So just I'm speaking from I'm gonna speak from a lived experience too. So I was once on medication. Okay. I was taking Ritalin, and you know I was taking Ritalin, and I was, you know, it made me really irritable. It you know, it made me, you know, like a zombie. What I can say to you is that, you know, sometimes we as brothers, we don't have a second voice to help us say, okay, this medication is not working. We may need to change our maybe change our dosage, you know, and try to find the right medication that can help us keep us, you know, even, you know, keep us at a certain level balanced, because a lot of times when we are taking those medications, they do have side effects. And a lot of times we don't have that voice to say, okay, this is not working for me.
Yeah.
I need to change my medication. And that's why a lot of us brothers, we turn to, you know, to other substance to, you know, to try to heal the pain. You know, self-medication. It's like self-medicating. You know, sometimes, you know, I mean, I've seen where brothers have used recreational, like, you know, the marijuana and stuff like that. But, you know, you know, it comes from the earth. But I think, like, if that help calms the brother, then, you know, that's another conversation in itself. But I think that the medicine management is important. It's important to have those conversations with your doctor, your social worker, and someone that you trust, whether it's whether it's your wife, your girlfriend, to go with you and to really have those conversations and say, hey, this is not working. I need something that's going to help me stay balanced, because the best thing is being balanced and being, you know, open to where, you know, we can live. I mean, medicine management is not a bad thing.
Right.
Sometimes as Black men, some Black men need medicine.
Yes, they do.
You know, some, you know, it just depends on the cases, depends on the person. You know, I was able to not even use medication because it turned me into a different person, and I didn't like those feelings. I didn't like the energy. It's all about energy. It's what you put into the world. My energy source has to be positive.
Yeah.
So I think that's important as well, that, you know, we as Black men, we try to, you know, use other forms of self-medication to heal those wounds.
Yeah.
So that's just to answer your question.
No, I appreciate you sharing that. And I appreciate the question from you, Amala, because I think that there can be some misconception about having a diagnosis and, you know, the medication that comes along with trying to treat that. You know, I know a lot of people don't necessarily care to take medicine, but sometimes it's necessary. I actually, and this is just my personal opinion, feel like, you know, diet, rest, and exercise, a lot of that plays a major role on our stress levels, our anxiety levels, that sort of thing. So not to say that that's the be all end all, but you know, there's a lot of processed food that we consume out here. And a lot of that stuff is not good for us. And
Yeah.
while, you know, it may be convenient, it may be cheap, it's doing us some harm.
Yes. Can I say something, Nicole?
Absolutely.
So you know, when you talk about food justice, when you talk about, you know, the food that we eat, the processed foods that we eat, you know, it's important that, you know, that takes it into account as well, because, you know, a lot of times, you know, we have to make sure that, you know, we're doing those things. Because I'm gonna tell you, um, it's like for me, you know, I had to change my whole diet. My mom was 300 pounds when she passed. So
Mhm.
you know, we continue with diabetes, hypertension, you know, and everything. So it's important that, like you said, Fran says self-care is very important, extremely important. You know, diet and exercise, Nicole, like you said, I think that's important as well, that we educate our brothers on diet, exercise, self-care days. You know,
Mhm.
that's very important. And I'm gonna tell you something. I now, man, I'm a firm believer in self-care. I'm a firm believer in saying no, not right now. Let me take care of myself. It's just like the air.
You? Not you, Darnell.
Yes. Yes. Because the thing is, you know, in this work and especially mental health and mental illness, you have to take care of yourself. You
Mhm.
got to start somewhere. And to everybody on this live, start somewhere.
Yeah.
Start somewhere. I mean, even if it's just a small step, that small step can be a bigger step
Yeah.
into the right direction.
No doubt.
I guys, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm almost about to be vegan. Almost. Like,
What?
yeah, I'm telling you, I don't, because I know what the food is doing to us, and
Wait
we
a
have
minute.
to.
Wait a
Yes.
minute. Now you know black men love some fried chicken. What?
Hey, but see, that's my vice though. You know, I love wings. You know, I love wings. That's but besides wings, I can get past it. But
Okay.
back to the point though, you know, we have to make sure, and especially in the Black and brown communities, we have to embrace the self-care. We have to embrace the health and diet, because we as Black men, we're losing our lives behind those ailments,
True.
you know, and our sisters are outliving us, you know.
Yeah, but we a close second. I mean, we got to do better as well. So that's you know, I know it's Man Up Monday, but the women can woman up, you know, as it relates to that whole diet, exercise, rest, and self care. You know,
Yeah.
that's very very important.
Yes.
So you know, we talked about the movement, the barbershop movement, and there are virtual courses that are taking place as a
Yes.
result of the pandemic. I mean, you were going to different cities, and you all have still been going to cities.
Yes.
Also implemented virtual workshops. So talk a little bit
Yes.
about that.
So what we, you know, during the pandemic, we were able to utilize the platform with Gillette. Gillette is one of our partners, where we partner with them. They're the largest grooming company in the world. And they said, okay, hey, we want to see your barbershop movement grow. So we decided that we wanted to go virtually, because at the certain point in time, it was like, well, we can't do it in person. So we decided to do it virtually, and we were able to connect with barbers from all over the US. So the barbers basically go through the training, the virtual training, and they get certified TCP mental health advocate. They
Okay.
go through the training, they get certified, and then what happens is, once they get certified, we send them a certificate, and we follow up with the barbers. When we do what we call technical assistance, where we follow up with the barbers to make sure that they're still engaged, still empowered, and, you know, making sure that they continue to know that they have a voice and that they're at the table. Because once you get barbers and stylists at the table, you can change a community. You can change the narrative. And also, we have a teachable software as well, where you can go online. Any barbers that want to take the course, it's at www.theconfessproject.com. You can go into our website and go to the virtual learning, click on the virtual learning. It says Beyond the Shop, and click and sign up and take the course.
Okay.
And you can do it. You can do it from anywhere. You can do it from a tablet. You can do it from your computer or your phone. It's just a click of a button, and
Okay.
that will help the barbers understand the Beyond the Shop movement.
Okay.
And also the virtual trainings, we have them. We have one coming up October 19th.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to all my barbers that's on the line and stylists. Come on, get trained up,
Yes.
get trained up, ready to go.
So that training is free.
Yes.
It's at 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central.
Yes.
But it's a Zoom training, and I will put the link in the comments after this broadcast. But for the barbers in the Tallahassee area, we meaning the Mental Health Council of the Big Bend, are offering a small stipend for barbers who complete that training. So you'll just present your certificate to us, and we'll give you $25. So you're gonna get paid certified, right? So it's just a small incentive, but we really want to see this happen in this area. So this live is part of the promotion of that. Again, that training is going to be next Monday, October 19th from 2 to 4. And it's a Zoom, it's free, but we want all barbers that, in particular that service Black boys and men in our area to get involved with this. So for those of you who are on the live, even though it's open to barbers anywhere, where we really want those of you in the Tallahassee area to share this with your barber and get your barber involved, because we, again, really would like to have an affiliate here in Tallahassee. That's what we're going to be working towards. And it'd be great if we could, establish a good core foundation of barbers that could participate in helping this thing grow. Because, I really believe that this is a movement that has, great implications on the Black community in terms of healing, in terms of growth, in terms of, just being kind of getting back to kind of where we were, but to help future generations. So I'm super excited about this, and I'm so glad that you're here tonight to share this with the viewers, and introduce this to folks that may not even be aware that there's something out there like this.
Yes. I wanted to say I want to charge every barber that's on this live.
Mm-hmm.
Look at yourself and say, what can I do for my community?
Mm-hmm.
What can I do for my clients?
Mm-hmm.
What can I do for myself? If I was in a situation of hopelessness, now I can be equipped.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can take the charge. Now I can man up.
Mm-hmm.
Really ask yourself that, because the thing is that I know a lot of barbers on this live maybe have children.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be able to help them, teach them the skills that you've learned with the Confess Project.
Yeah.
To give to them something that they will have lifelong, to where they're able to take what we've given them and use it for the community. Because remember, barbers have influence, and you guys, and we love you guys. We honor you. This space is for you.
Yeah.
That's why we decided to go and do the Barbershop Coalition, Beyond the Shop, because we knew that this moment was going to come. We knew that these times that we're living in right now, that the barber industry is the last industry that we have.
Mm.
And it's important that we take hold of the tools that are available right now.
Mm.
Because it's great organizations that are doing great work, but we are doing the work on the ground.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so I challenge every barber that's on this live, and every stylist, get trained, because you can save a life. It's about impacting the lives and saving lives, because you can save a life. You can save your client's life. You can even save your own life. You can save your family members' lives. I want to
Yeah,
challenge barbers
true.
on this live. Like, seriously, because you know we have to really take it seriously,
Mm-hmm.
and really say, hey, it's time. Let me go ahead and get out my comfort zone,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
say, I need to do this, you know, because we all we got.
Indeed. 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 No. Wow. Talk about Man Up Monday. So, again, we put in the charge out there to all barbers. If your barber isn't on here, um, you know, send them to the replay. This will be on Facebook. We are actually live right now on Roku TV live streaming. But get them signed up. Like I said, after the live, we'll put the Zoom link in the comments so that folks can go register. Barbers can go register, and we've been given a lot of kind of alerts tonight in terms of things to come. But so I don't know if you're at liberty to say what some of the next, what's next
Yeah.
for the
Well,
project.
I can say this. I can say that we right now we are we also we do a chapter by chapter model,
Mm-hmm.
where we have a chapter in the cities that we've been to. We've been to 15 cities. So we just left Memphis, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to Memphis, Tennessee, Chicago, Illinois, Johnson City, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
So we have ambassadors. We have over 10 ambassadors now,
Mm-hmm.
that we have in those cities, that teach from a curriculum,
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of our barbers and stylists don't have insurance, home ownership, how to increase your bag, how to have great personal and professional relationships.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about those wraparound services,
Mm-hmm.
because it's important that the barbers know and understand what their power is.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing, I remember going to an event, and the barbers was like, raise your hand if you don't have insurance. And a lot of them don't have that insurance,
Mm-hmm.
because they're self-employed. So
Right.
what happens is the ambassador will teach from that 12-month curriculum, where they'll have guest speakers to come in and talk about home ownership, talk about health insurance,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
to
So
where, go ahead.
it's more than the barbers serving their clients, but the Confess Project helps to serve the barber.
Yes, to help serve the barbers, because we know, as you know, the barbers are the gateway.
Yep.
They're the ones that can change the culture.
Mm.
They are the culture.
Yep.
And so we're actually getting ready to gear up to do. We got 1, 2, 3. We got at least 2 more virtual tour stops, and then we'll go next year. We'll possibly hopefully with this COVID-19, we'll be going to Boston, Philly, LA,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll be going in person. And we're possibly, I'm praying that we get down to Tallahassee, in that area down in Florida, so we can come on down, and and really
Yes.
reach that population down there, because I haven't heard of the statistics, but I know the statistics are very high in Florida right now. So
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
yeah, for sure. But
Okay.
so those are some of the things that are coming along right now, and we're set, ready to go. I mean, it's
Good. That's exciting. That's exciting. Well, anything else you wish to share with the people before we get ready to close out?
I just want to thank you, first of all, giving honor to the guest, giving honor to you for having me on the show. And also to my barbers, to my stylists, you know, keep your head up,
Yeah.
stay, stay lifted, but
Mm-hmm.
also also make sure that you are staying healthy
Mm-hmm.
mentally.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I thank you guys for having me, because you know it's important that this conversation is had, but it's important to have solutions,
Yes.
because it's time out to stop being at the bottom.
Right.
It's time to be at the top now.
Yes. 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 Awesome. Awesome. Well, I have to thank you so much. I mean, gosh, we just had a conversation a couple months ago, and now here you are, and now we're participating in this virtual training, and hopefully we'll have you in February. So, I'm excited. Thank you for the work that you all do. Look forward to meeting some more of the TCP team
Yeah.
in the very near future. And again, we will put the Zoom link in the comments so the barbers can go register for that class on October 19th at 2 p.m. Eastern. So thank you to the viewers for your great engagement tonight. I think they found it to be beneficial. I see Fran from the Mental Health Council on here. She's our engaged committee chair. Thank you.
Woo-hoo.
Yes, yes, yes. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. So please, let's keep this conversation going. By all means, spread the word rather. Tell your barber, tell your husband's barber, tell your brother's barber. They need to get plugged into the Confess Project and get this training and help the brothers out because we need it. This is the way that they can man up, right?
And also too, let them know they can join the coalition as well. Go to our website too to join the coalition,
Okay.
and someone will be in contact with them.
Okay.
I will be the one contacting them, when they sign up and everything. So let them know, hey, join the coalition. So
Okay.
they definitely can do that also. So
All right. All right. Very good. So, again, let's keep this going. And I have to, of course, invite those of you who have not maybe either plugged into Conversations with Nicole via YouTube to do so, as well as the Greater Works Network on Roku. Please connect with us there. So I think, yeah, we're going to wrap
yeah,
this up.
yeah, yeah. And also follow us on Instagram, all
Okay.
social media handles, Facebook,
Yes.
Instagram, and
Yes.
Twitter.
Yes. The
So
Confess Project on all of
yeah,
that, right?
on all of that, make sure you watch our videos. We have a lot of good videos, just showing our work, what we're doing. So just tell somebody to tell somebody,
Yes.
about this great movement,
Yes.
and this great, great people, that we're providing this for our communities, Black and brown.
All right. Very
So
good.
much love and respect to all the viewers out there, and thank you, Miss Nicole, for having me. I'm very appreciative.
No, my pleasure. My pleasure, Darnell. All right. We'll see y'all next time.